Welcome, everybody, to episode 61 of Millennial Gaming Speak, behind the scenes of whatever we're doing before we record. Let me make sure I got everything pulled up here. Everything is in its appropriate place.
I tried to organize it.
I got the sniffles today, so bear with me, everybody who's watching. I don't know why. Sometimes that just happens. You get in the shower and then your nose gets all messed up. At least it does for me. I don't know. It's weird. It's also early. We're recording before noon, which is different. It's not usually a
we
thing.
had some afternoon conflict schedule conflict.
And you had the conflicts. I'm free all day.
I know. I was
all day.
I was the troublemaker.
Hopefully once I just get talking and stuff, my nose will be better. I got the sniffles like Trump in that debate the other night. So no one make fun of me. All right, I'm good to go whenever you are, I think. Yeah, I've got everything jotted down here. So yeah.
Should be
If you watch today, we've only got one person watching. I've got the chat pulled up, so if you do type anything, I should see it today. I'm going to try to keep an eye on it. If not, sorry. Just whenever you're good, Max. Oh, wait, I've already got that pulled up. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'm good. Let me just... Got the time down there. I can see it.
I can edit this week, too, if you want me to. I know you've done it like the past 3, 4, 5 weeks, it seems like.
I'm good, though.
I'm not very busy this week, so.
I got it. I got my paper all out. I'm ready.
Okie dokie.
So, we'll do it right there. I'm ready when you are, dude.
Okay, cool. Let's begin episode number 61 in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 61 of Millennial Gaming Speak. I am your host, Logan Moore, and I've got the sniffles today, so please bear with me as we go through this episode. With me today, as always, is Max Roberts. Hi, Max.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm fine, besides the sniffle part. I'm doing good.
The sniffles.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Otherwise, though, pretty lazy Sunday ahead. Looking forward to playing some video games and watching some football and sleeping on my couch. So once we get this out of the way,
I'm good. The Vigia games.
Actually, shoot, I do need to write my Batman episode 2 review. Kind of behind on that. So
you're a little bit behind on that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna play today?
So I started BioShock 2 last night, and so I'll probably be playing that today. It takes less than 5 minutes to realize that game is nowhere near BioShock 1. Like seriously, about 3 minutes into the game, you're like, okay, yeah, this isn't that good. Because BioShock 1 has such a cool opening, and so does BioShock Infinite. And BioShock 2, you just wake up like on the floor in a puddle, and then you just start exploring Rapture. That's it. Nothing to it. No exciting intro, no big grand thing happening
underwater and stuff, if I remember correctly.
You do. That's probably about 20 to 30 minutes into the game. So that's kind of the opening.
You're talking about immediate introduction.
Immediate introduction. It's like, boom, you wake up on the floor and then you walk down the hallway and then you get the electro bolt plasmid and then
they waste no time letting you play.
People. Yeah, but the story is just not as good at all. Sophia Lamb is not a great character. I don't think she's a good villain at all in that game. So I
don't know. Never maybe played an hour, 2 hours of BioShock 2. It's like, I don't need this.
The gameplay's tighter, but the story is not very good at all.
I'm really excited to hear you talk about Minerva's Den.
I will play that at some point. We'll see how it is. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I'm not expecting a ton. I know it's like highly, but maybe that's a good thing.
Shut up about it
too much. There we go. First yawn of the episode.
The first yawn was about 2 minutes in.
For those keeping track at home, there you go. Yeah, I'll get through Minerva's Den. That's the only thing you want to play, isn't it? In that collection.
Yeah, because it's the only thing I haven't played. That I care about.
Well, BioShock 2, you haven't played to completion.
But I don't care about it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, picking up what I'm throwing down. You gonna play anything else?
I played Darkest Dungeon this morning on Vita. We got a review code for that at PlayStation Insider. I decided to keep it because no one else really wanted it. So I'm playing through that right now. It's a turn-based RPG. Pretty fun so far. I'm just kind of been tooling around. I tooled around with it for probably 45 minutes to an hour, just kind of trying to learn how the systems in the game work, trying to learn how the parties function together and what the different abilities each of the characters can have and stuff like that. It's also permadeath, so if any of your characters die, that sucks for you. So if you get a really high level character and then they die in the middle of a fight, then
So
you're screwed.
is it like Fire Emblem then?
I don't
It's like
know.
a turn-based strategy
Kind
game?
of. I've never played Fire Emblem.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
yeah, that was actually one we had our topic last week series we've never played, but we've thought about it or wanted to. Fire Emblem was one that I realized after the show that I didn't say.
Fire Emblem Awakening was really good.
It's actually really similar to like Paper Mario in terms of like how the combat is set up.
So you're on a stage and you're trying to impress the crowd.
You're trying to impress that crowd. No, it's similar in the way that like enemies on the right, you're on the left, and then you've got your different party members that you choose to fight with. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And then you just explore random dungeons or areas, and you can wander around. So it's kind of like Persona in that way, except you don't walk around in a 3D space. It's all 2D. So it's all right so far. I mean, I've only played a little bit of it, and I know it's like a 50 to 60 hour game. So
how long do you think it's going to take you to review it? Because you've got PSVR here in under 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and you're going to review. I know the unit for the website, but I don't know. I think you're doing Batman as well.
I don't know. We got to figure that out. We need to figure all that stuff out behind closed doors with ourselves, because not only that, but we sent out requests for like 5 other games within the past 2 or 3 days. So we're gonna have even more games than we originally anticipated. Obviously, these games are all short, and I don't think we need to write up like full length reviews for any of them. But
so not to get too inside, but do the 3 of us just need to have some time this week to sit down and pick what's what?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of already done that. At this point, it's just figuring out which codes we get and then who wants them. And then obviously things like Batman, if we don't get a code for that, like I know most of us will be buying it. So it's just a matter of who wants it. So I don't know.
I'm really trying to pick my launch games carefully. I think if we don't get if there's no code for Super Hypercube, I'm buying Super Hypercube.
I'll buy that. I'll buy Rez. I'll buy Batman. If
Rez is
the codes.
And then Rez is one that I've heard a lot of really good things about. And then there's also Rez. Batman.
I think Rez is going to be like the good. That's going to be like the good like game. Like
I'm excited about it. It also there's a demo for it on the demo disc.
Yeah.
So I do feel better being able to like try it first. I think I will like it though, based off what I've seen and what I hear from people. We'll kind of see how it goes, but I'm looking at those 3 games in particular: Super Hypercube, Batman, and Rez.
Those are the 3 I'm interested in as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We put out some codes for some like weirder games that I wouldn't mind getting and just playing around with, like Job Simulator and
Job Simulator is good. I've done a demo Job Simulator in the Vive. It's funny.
I would like to mess around with that. We also put in a request for Keep Talking Before You Explode or whatever that's called.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, the bomb game where the person in the headset has the bomb and everyone else has a book.
I feel like that'd be fun to play with like my parents or my brother or something like that, if I could get them all in the same room to do something like that. So yeah, we've put in some requests for some, I guess, more obscure games. I don't know. There's really no killer app at launch for VR. And I was talking to you about this earlier.
People are saying Area X in Rez though is the reason. Like it's the thing. It's
and that's about what I expected. That's why I've been encouraging you to get it, because the more I see it, the more I'm convinced that will be like the proof of concept game for VR in terms of like how an arcade shooter could work in virtual reality.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from Batman still, really. Like
everyone says it's dope.
That's what I've heard. So I have my Move controllers now. I got those. They've probably been sitting in a warehouse for 5 years, but I've got those now.
I just bought a little charging dock for them.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
You said that to me. I didn't get that. No.
I mean, you still can. It's still. I mean, it's $5.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe.
Yeah, so I've got my
a
nice
bunch
little
of those
charging dock.
I've got a bunch of those wires sitting around
See,
from
I
that
don't.
I used
That's
to
my
charge my
problem. I don't have the wire.
So I've got a bunch of those I can charge it with. But you're like counting down the days at this point for VR, and I am as well in many respects. But
10 days.
I don't think
Or
I
11,
am.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I'm like. I don't know. It's because there's not one like killer app. There's not one specific thing that I am like freaking out to play. It's. I would be more excited if there was like one specific game that was coming out that I could get all behind. But as it stands, Res I'm really excited for, but like I have played Res before. I think it'll be completely different in VR though, obviously. Batman will be fun, but I don't expect it to be much after. I mean, I'll spend an afternoon with it probably, and then that'll probably be about it if I had to guess.
Probably.
And then Super Hypercube will be something I keep coming back to, but that's again like
That's a
cool
puzzle game.
That's a cool game, and it's a puzzle game, and it's like one of those games you try to get a high score on, but there's not much there's not much VR behind it besides looking around the cube and trying to see what shape you need to make. So it's not going to be anything that's like testing the limits of VR necessarily. So
no.
The more I think about it, the more I am buying this for future games that could come out.
You're on the ground floor.
Yes, pretty much. And I don't necessarily need to be, but I'm getting in there. But I'm excited for it. I'm really looking forward to it. As I've said, it's probably like my most anticipated thing. Like you can't call it a game, but it's the thing I'm looking forward to most this fall. So I am really excited to get it in my house and just have it in my house, but it remains to be seen like how much I play around with it after like the initial 2 weeks that I have it. So
I'm pretty excited about it.
I am as well.
I've got a whole space already laid out for it, like where I'm going to set everything up. Everything's charged. I'll do like a final charge. Like I just cannot wait. I have all the money now. So I'm going to go deposit that in the bank a week before it launches, and it should be shipping out like that Tuesday. So
as I said to you the other day, like my first priority this month is all Cubs baseball. So if that interferes at all with launch day of VR, then sorry VR.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy at all.
You're a madman.
I've been the last time they made the playoffs, and besides last year was when I was in 8th grade. So it's been a long time coming. I've been waiting for a season like this for the Cubs my whole life. I've been waiting for VR for a couple months. I can wait a little bit longer. It'll be in my house forever. So I'm not that.
And so will the Cubs defeat. It'll be in your heart forever.
Shut up. Please don't.
Just a heavy heart.
I'm seriously so like nervous about this month. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I hate this time. I hate and love this time of year because when the Cubs do well, like they did last year, when they did pretty well last year, like it was so awesome. I was so happy. I was so excited. And then when they lose, though, it just like it takes something out of me. Something, I don't know. It kills any hope that I have left in my heart every year that they lose. So any year that they lose and they're like in contention, obviously when they're barely winning 60 games in a season, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know. I hope they pull it off this year, please. Just 1 year. I just want 1 year.
You'll see.
Before we get into our notable news this week, there is one thing that I did want, there's two things I wanted to mention. First thing, this is our first episode that we're recording in October. First weekend of October here. What is it? The 3rd, maybe?
It's the 2nd.
2nd?
Today is the 2nd.
So today is October 2nd. This episode should be up by the 5th, then I guess.
Correct.
I would like to make light of something that I do here often, but it's now October. We still don't know what the NX is. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
All right, cool. I'm excited.
It's just, we
I was actually listening to a podcast this morning when I was cooking breakfast, and they talked about some NX speculation, and just hearing other people talk about it gets me all like excited in the mystery. I don't see how you
could be excited about it at all anymore. We've been in this mode since
it's the mystery.
March of 2015.
It's the mystery, man. The allure.
The mystery died with it. Like it's not mysterious anymore either. That's the thing. Like I think we clearly know what it is. So can we just see it now? Like
we'll see.
There's been way too much confirmation with things and what it's supposed to be.
October is that time.
I'll be happy if we see it by February at this point. Like good grief. Like Nintendo has seriously though, like I don't care what your hype train or whatever you're on.
Choo choo.
Admit that they've probably
Oh.
dropped the ball on this a little bit, and they need
Oh,
to
they have. They
stop
need to show
being
this.
silent because
They
they
need
should have
to
shown
take
this. I
off.
mean, we were frustrated 25 episodes ago when they announced that they weren't going to show it at E3. Like I had my whole soapbox rant in an old episode probably like 20 episodes ago. I think it may have been in like March or April. I had a big soapbox rant about how I thought it was stupid that they weren't going to E3 to reveal it. Now it's October and they still haven't done anything. And you would think the reveal has to be this month, but we thought that last month at the start of the month. So, I mean, it has to be soon, but why are they being quiet about it? Like, I don't understand. Like, and I know your response to that will probably be, they're trying to craft their marketing, make sure that they get the message right.
They need to show this thing. They definitely do. Their original response, like forever ago, this was a very long time ago, so it's clearly not valid now. It's like, we don't want anyone to imitate us. Well, your thing's coming out to market in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
6 months.
The thing that's strange is that
no one could copy it in that quick a time.
The thing that's strange is, like, so Microsoft and Sony, when they announced the PS4 and the Xbox One, we knew those were in development and they kind of confirmed as much. But then after they confirmed as much, like we saw the systems themselves like pretty soon after. Nintendo has been talking about codename NX
it's been floating around for over a year.
I mean, it has been an official thing that they have talked about for over a year at this point. I think it was honestly March or April of last year is where they talked about it.
In their fiscal meetings.
Yes.
Like they had to tell shareholders about that they have like this product coming. It was, when it was, is when they announced they were going to enter the mobile market. But then they said, but don't worry, we are still making dedicated hardware, codename NX. It was to reassure shareholders that they still were a producer of video game hardware, but they were also entering this mobile space. And now we're seeing the fruit of all that mobile labor. We've got Miitomo, we've got Pokemon Go, we've got Super Mario Run, and Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing are coming. Like these games are out, these games are real. And now,
okay, so mobile aside though, like as long as we've had it since like episode probably 10 of this show, we have been talking about the NX.
It needs to be real.
It's almost been 20 months. Like I just kind of crunched the numbers. It's been
this is also, but you got to think this is also the company that announced a mini NES, and you still can't pre-order it, and it comes out in a month.
Nintendo still sucks. Can't pre-order it in Nintendo America. Really freaking sucks. Like they are not a good company in a lot of ways. I don't understand it. Like they try to like forcefully make themselves different from the other two. And I think that's smart in some ways because they know that they couldn't compete with Microsoft and Sony if they tried to go toe to toe with them in terms of like power and things like that. But then there's just like common sense business decisions that you should be making as a company, such as here's the mini NES. Pre-order it, like things like that. Like
part of it I don't get the whole mini NES pre-order because you can pre-order the Famicom one in Japan already. Like they announced it in Japan and then you could pre-order it.
Well, the hype around that when it was announced, the day it was announced, like that was all anybody was talking about on Twitter. Like if you would have had a link to say pre-order here, how many people would have just unwillingly like tossed their money at the screen? And there's a lady talking in your mic.
It's apparently my phone thought I said the magical keywords to activate a mobile personal assistant, and she decided to talk to me, and that's never happened before.
Well, that was interesting. Hello, Max's phone. Anyway, I don't. We don't have to beat this to death.
Not long in the tooth here, but it's got to come eventually one day. I'm very excited for that day. I'm very excited to pre-order one. I'm very excited to see just what it is, and it'll happen one day, whether the thing comes out March 31st and they announce it on March 30th, or whether they announce it this month. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what Nintendo's official craft is. As far as the business thing you were saying, this is a Japanese company, and I don't know a ton about Japanese business, but they always do things a little differently.
Well, so is Sony, though. Sony's a Japanese company at its roots as well, and they've made smart decisions. So
we'll see.
It's strange. I know you keep getting more and more excited for it.
I do.
They have lost my excitement entirely, mainly because, like I said, I feel like we do know what it is at this point, And
I
if they would have
cannot wait. I cannot wait for this thing to be announced and to see your reaction to it.
I mean, I'm not
I
gonna be
can't
that
wait.
excited for it though. Like I really won't. Like it's as
I don't know if
like
you
I
can say
don't
that.
get,
They
and
could
this is
announce something that knocks it
we'll
out of
talk.
the park in the
We'll
world
this
of
is what
Logan.
this kind of leads into one of our topics later. But I don't get that excited about much anymore. Like everything's pretty even keel for me as far as announcements in the industry goes and games coming out. Like I get excited for certain things, but I'm never like doing backflips for anything anymore. And if
They announced BioShock 4 exclusive NX.
well, see, that's one thing
Brought
that
back
I
Ken
would freak
Levine.
out. That's one thing that would like I would be very excited about. But if they
I'm
would have
just
if they would
I'm
have shown the
excited to see what
NX
you
off,
think because
if they
I'm
would
going
have
to be
shown
excited
the NX
regardless.
off before all of these leaked docs happened over the last month or two, and it would have been something fresh that we hadn't heard about, then that would have been exciting. If what they show is almost exactly what we have thought it would be, then that's just going to be it'll be cool because I think the leaked docs kind of sound cool, but there will be no added surprise element behind it, and it'll suck because of that. So, yeah,
We'll see.
It needs to be announced soon. Just soon. Come on, get it over with. I'm not. It's just like tearing a band-aid off at this point. Just get it off. Hurry up. Let's do it. I'm not excited for this to happen, but let's just do it. I don't know. And I guess one last thing, like as an added frustration, like I would like to buy it if it is cool. Like it sounds interesting and it sounds cool. Like I would like the hybrid thing. I've been getting more sold on, so that's why I would like to see it. I'm tired of waiting. Anyway, just thought I would mention that because I know I always mention that every 4 or 5 episodes when they don't announce it. As we get into notable news this week, we've got a bunch of small stories that kind of add up to, I don't know, they kind of add up to a decent amount of news, but none of them are really anything too big. The first one, though, that Max, I know you left off. I don't know if you forgot about it or not, but I figured I'd mention it because it was kind of relevant for myself this past week. But PSX got announced. PlayStation Experience 2016.
I totally forgot about it.
And it's happening in Anaheim on December 3rd and 4th, first weekend of December. And I'm going to go.
It's a Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to go to that. I already bought my plane tickets. I've bought my ticket to the event. So I will be there. If you're going to be there, come make sure to say hi to me or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if anybody will listen to this who is going to go, but you never know. So I'll be there. Cool. It should be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to get your hands-on impressions for some stuff. I'm sure at the very least we see the Uncharted 4 DLC.
I don't know if I get hands-on with it, but maybe
you would be there. You would see it.
I don't know if they would do a demo for it, would they?
Well, they'd do a trailer or something. It's a different scene of video in person than it is. You know what I'm saying?
I guess
you'd be there, the hype, the energy. I'm excited for you to like go to these booths and play a bunch of different games. I'm sure there's going to be some cool PSVR stuff. You know, at that point, Resident Evil 7 is going to be a month out, so there might be a cool demo. You can
2 days out. At that point,
Last Guardian launches 2 days later. What if they give everyone that goes a free copy of The Last Guardian?
That'd be nice. That'd be a showing of goodwill by Sony. Here, you waited so long. We're all giving you a free copy.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we'll see. We will see how it goes. I'm excited for you to go.
So
I'm excited to hear your impressions.
I'm flying in that Thursday to LA with friend of the show Michael Ruiz. We are going together, and we also found out that the Game Awards are that Thursday night when we get there. We're getting to LA around 10 a.m. and then the Game Awards are that night. And
Can you get in there?
I think so. They had a buy tickets option on their website from last year, and that link is still active, but it hasn't been updated for 2016. So once they do update the website for the Game Awards 2016, you should be able to buy tickets. So I think
holy cow,
go to that. So we're gonna go to the Game Awards and PSX all within like 4 days of each other. So
it's gonna be wild.
If I see people like Hideo Kojima or Mr. Why am I thinking of his Twitter handle? Tim of Legend. What's his name? Tim
Schafer.
Tim Schafer. Thank you so much. If I see Tim Schafer, I'm going to give him a big old hug because I love that man. So should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to empty my bank account, but that's okay.
Already has.
I do stuff like this sometimes. So
already has emptied your bank account.
Just very about cool. There. Just
I did forget that was announced. Good call. Thank you very much.
So I figured I'd bring that up. So yeah, but that was our first, I guess, notable news story, sort of. We didn't have it jotted down, but getting into the rest of our list, we got new PS Plus games for October, and they're pretty good this time. One Oh, there's actually two pretty notable games on this list. One which is Resident Evil Remaster, the original game that got the HD remaster a couple months ago or a year ago, maybe. So there's a spooky element to this year's PS Plus lineup, and the original Resident Evil. Max, you got to play that game. I know you've been wanting to wait.
Telling me?
Yeah, I know you've been wanting to wait for Resident Evil 7, and we talked about this last week, but I think 1 is that's a good one to just like try out. And I think you're going to hate it. I think
3 is the price for me.
I think you will despise the game. I really do. But I'd like to see you test it out for like an hour or two and let me know what you think about it.
I'll download it for sure. It's the only game on that list that interests me. Only reason I've included the news story was because you were so excited about it.
Well, because I thought of buying it recently because it is a really like solid game, and I don't know if I would play it, but it's a good game to give away for free, and I'm surprised they're doing it because it is like a more notable title. Usually we see some, not shovelware necessarily, but like more indie games. So to see an actual like
garbage
AAA game, I don't think garbage.
There have been months lately where I just don't care about PS Plus games.
I mean, it's hit or miss. This month's a hit, I think. We're also getting Transformers Devastation, which I have heard very good things about. It's a Transformers game from Platinum, I'm pretty sure. So we're getting that as well on PS4. And then I don't remember what the others are. There's something else on Vita that I feel like is noteworthy, but I cannot remember what it is.
There were a couple of Japanese games. I can read them off to you if you want.
I've got it pulled up here. There's Resident Evil and Transformers Devastation. On PS3, there's Mad Riders and From Dust. From Dust is pretty cool. I actually played that before. And then there's Code Realized Guardian of Rebirth. I don't know what that is. And then Actual Sunlight. I've heard Actual Sunlight is good. I think it's like a story-based game.
It is a short interactive story about love and depression.
So I've heard that's actually good from a couple people. Some people were pointing it out and saying that that's the sleeper hit of next month. So download it, try it out. It's free. Why the heck not? But Max,
free is the price for me.
You gotta try Resident Evil. I will
most definitely try it out. I played the demo for RE7. I've played maybe an hour of RE4.
You're gonna hate it. You're gonna think it's so dated, and in some ways it is. But you're gonna think. I feel like you're gonna think it's dated.
Does it have awful shooting mechanics?
Yes, but
the garbage.
Yeah, but the shooting is not what the game is centered around, though. That's the thing.
Okay, so that's fine then. If that's
you're supposed to, you're not. When you see an enemy, you're not supposed to necessarily blow them away. Sometimes you just have to run right past them.
That's what you do in Resident Evil 5.
No, you don't.
And 6 isn't 5 and 6 all about shooting?
4 kind of started the all about shooting thing. 4, 5, and 6 are more shooter based. But yeah, you're gonna hate it. I feel like because of ink ribbons. You're gonna hate it because of limited inventory. Like you have like 8 inventory slots.
It's managing inventory.
Well,
if it all lends itself to the horror aesthetic, should be fine.
Well, that's the thing is that like
if it controls and performs like trash, then I'm not gonna like it.
It won't perform bad. Max thinks every game is gonna perform poorly. I think.
Well, it's just like a stipulation. They should run well.
It'll run fine, but the game itself, like the inventory system, is very mismanaged. I think the tank controls are still in it, which are very.
No.
But again, like everything, all of the elements of the game are meant to like make you more stressed, and I feel like they kept the tank controls in it purposefully because it makes it harder.
Gosh. Well, I will try it out. By the time you are listening to this podcast, these will all be free on PlayStation Plus. Yes. So definitely check them out. I'll download it on Tuesday. I'll download Resident Evil on Tuesday.
It's a good game to play for October. I know we talked about that last month. So
spooky game.
Good game.
Spooky games for spooky people. I did. You know how some people on Twitter change their name to like a horror kind of pun?
Yeah.
I did that this year.
What is it?
It's Max Grave Roberts.
Oh, jeez.
Grave Robber. Grave Roberts.
Our next story of the week is Best Buy is getting PSVRs in at midnight. They're having a midnight release. Not really a shock. I mean, I feel like most
not at all.
Well, maybe not most retailers, but some retailers were probably going to do that. It's a typical hardware launch. Like, even though it's not really a new system, it's it's a really big hardware launch, and so because of that, most retailers who aren't 24 hours will probably end up opening at midnight. Best Buy is a notable electronics outlet, so it makes sense for them to do it.
Yeah, there are going to be 350 stores across the country. My local Best Buy is one of them, so I'm kind of, I mean, I'm not buying one from them, but it's kind of cool. 350 stores are doing it. I'll put a link in the description for those of you, so you can see if your store is doing it. I wanted to just mention this in case anyone out there did miss pre-orders and wanted to get a VR unit at launch. This is the best bet for you, is to go to your local Best Buy at midnight if you're on the East Coast, and then as far as early as 9 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. It's all synced up to Eastern Standard Time's midnight launch.
Yeah, if you for sure want one day one, then here's a good shot for you. This is
your best shot.
I will say though, and I've said this for a long time, I don't think these are going to be flying off the shelf necessarily. It's not going to be like a Wii in 2006 or 7, whatever that was. I think you'll probably be able to walk into a store afterwards and find one pretty easily a few weeks after release.
My only concern would be the supply. Like, how many of these is Sony going to be cranking out? Are they going to pull a Nintendo or an Apple and like artificially restrict the supply to increase the demand? That's one thing I can see happening. I doubt it. I assume they're going to try and crank out as many as they can and sell as many as they can, which would lend itself to, in a week or two, or even that week, you could just walk in the store and buy one.
Well, again, and I hope that's so much more. It's so much more of a niche product too. Like PS4s, I feel like you were able to find on store shelves maybe like a month after release, and that was a completely new console. This is so much more streamlined for a hardcore audience who already owns a PlayStation 4. So you're dropping $400 on top of a $300 to $400 that you already dropped on a system.
I would be really curious to see how many people are buying a PS4 just for PSVR. I would love to see who's buying both at the same time. Because there will be people that do that.
You gotta imagine it's really, really, really
really small.
Like hundreds, if not thousands. Like I'm thinking that small. I can't see anybody.
There's 45 million of these things out in the world. I doubt it's anything substantial. But I'm curious how many people are dropping it all at once.
That's my thing, is that you'd have to drop, $700 before taxes. So, and then
$700 before taxes,
and that's and then you need the camera, and then you need the wands necessarily. If you don't get the expanded bundle, so you're looking at like closer to $900. So
$900 to $1,000.
I'm gonna guess no one does that. Honestly,
don't say that, because there are crazy people out there.
Very, 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 very small amount. Like literally, like honestly, like I said, maybe hundreds of people. Like I'd be shocked if it.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I would love to meet that person. I might go to the midnight launch of my Best Buy just to like scope it out and talk to people, kind of see what's going on. Just because those are fun. Like I remember the GTA 5 launch I did at that Best Buy. It was fun. But
either playing games at home or going to bed, because
I don't know. It's like super late.
Actually, no, I'll be watching baseball. That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, and I might have work. That Thursday morning. So if I have work at 6 a.m., I'm not going to be at the Best Buy at midnight. Although that would be interesting. Anyway,
let's hope the Cubs smash the Cards or Giants or Mets or whoever the heck they're supposed to play. Because if the first series they're in goes 5 games, then that 5th game will be on October 13th on Thursday. So, and I will also be PSVR will be the last of my worries that day. If that goes 5 games, then I'll be stressed as can be, and I won't be able to function that day. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, you know what you could do? You could watch it on your PSVR in cinema mode.
Nope. I don't see how.
Why not?
It's on cable television.
You don't have the MLB thing on your PS4?
I do, but that's not straight. That they don't do the playoffs. All of Fox has the rights to most of the playoff games.
Oh, really? So it's just regular season?
Yeah, and also as well, gross. I can't even watch the Cubs on my MLB TV subscription because I live in Indianapolis and we're a blackout market. So they black out the games. So
that's disgusting.
I have local channels I can watch it on.
I know, but that's gross. That's corporate gross. Gross corporateness. Anyway, PSVR midnight launch at Best Buy confirmed. They will have supplies at 350 stores. Click the link in the description if you are one of the people that is hoping to get one of these on October 13th.
What Max said. Our third story. I
figured I'd just steal that one.
Our third story, I figured we'd just mention for a quick second. If you like watching stuff on Twitch and you have an Amazon Prime subscription, hey, now you have Twitch Prime to go along with Amazon Prime, which means you can get exclusive loot. You can get a free subscription to any channel of your choice per month, which
every
is
month.
kind of the, I think, like the key thing here.
That's the big highlight for me. You get an ad-free experience on Twitch across the board, and then you get one free subscription per month, which is awesome for both Twitch streamers and people that don't necessarily don't have the money to like subscribe to someone on Twitch every month,
because the streamers still get the kickback from the money like normal. So it is like a normal subscription to them. They still get the $5 a month or whatever it is. So that's why you saw so many people who do stream on Twitch regularly saying, please consider tossing your Prime subscription to us because we do get money for that. So
I kind of was just more curious about your take on it. I know you and I both did the same thing with our free subscription. We both gave it to Kind of Funny. Yeah. But I was curious just kind of your take on the whole thing, because it makes for me
it's a cool partnership. Like I don't subscribe to any
Twitch channels. It's not even a partnership. Amazon bought Twitch a year ago, if you remember correctly. Yeah. Amazon owns Twitch.
Well, it's a cool whatever marketing ploy, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, as somebody who subscribes to Prime annually, like it's a good deal. Like it's works out for me pretty well, so I'm fine with it. It's always Amazon nice to get more benefits for Prime.
You are crazy if you don't have Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is the best subscription I ever pay for.
It's pretty good. Free shipping. You get all of their
videos, music, Amazon unlimited photo storage.
I don't use the photo storage personally.
Neither do I, but it's there.
If you want it, it's there.
You can get free 1-day delivery depending on certain orders and where you live. Now you get this Twitch stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Plus, if you're a student, it's only $50 a year, which is what I am and Max is.
And then, darn it, train of thought, it's going away. And when their drones are approved by the FAA, then we'll get drone delivery.
Maybe we'll see.
Prime is amazing. Anyway, I figured we'd mention that. I thought it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you do watch Twitch annually, and there's a few channels you like, but like similar to myself, you don't really toss people money too often. Now you can, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, moving on, we've got more news about the mini NES, which we mentioned earlier in the show, how it's still not available for pre-order, and that is not the news story that we're breaking here. But there is some new info on the emulation that is happening on the mini NES. And it looks better than the emulation. It looks more classic, I guess, compared to the emulation on the Wii U, if I'm correct.
Yes. Basically, if you owned a Wii, the emulation was pretty great. It was pretty darn accurate. But then for some reason, when they switched to Wii U, it got muddled, squashed, gross, dark tinted. Wii U Virtual Console emulation is it's beneath substandard. It's trash, and it's actually one of my, as I've learned more and more about classic gaming and preserving and how to play these games now in this HD future, one of my biggest regrets is transferring all my Wii data to my Wii U, because now it's locked on there in this gross state. But anyway, it looks like the NES Mini is using the emulation from the Wii, not the Wii U. So it sounds better, it looks better. It's got pixel perfect mode, which is you can see on these new Nintendo 3DS with SNES games. It's got 4x3 and it's got a CRT mode. It actually reminds me a lot, feature-wise, of the Mega Man Legacy Collection, with all the different ways you can display it. It's got 4 different save states per game. Unfortunately, it's got a really short cord, like 3 feet. For my particular setup, everything's at my desk, so that doesn't bother me. A 3-foot cord is way more than I need at my desk. But if you're in a living room space, this cord is abysmally short. It's garbage. So hopefully there's an alternative to buy at the worst, which would be sucky. But It just looks and sounds better. It comes out in a month. It's November 11th, $60, 30 NES games. I do wish you could buy games for it, like you could through the web buy it, but they've locked this thing to offline only, which is kind of unfortunate. But
it's better that way probably. Like it should. I mean, you would like it to be online, but
there's some NES games I would love to add to this collection.
But that's the thing; it is locked in at the 30. It's like the old things you used to see at Walmart, where it was
it's
Pac-Man, Galaga, all that stuff, and you just plug it into the AV cables on your TV and you play it. It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be streamlined. It's not supposed to be anything too complicated. It's just supposed to be an easy cash in for Nintendo.
Yep, they're cashing it on my end,
and that's essentially all that it's going to be. I still have zero interest in the thing. Personally,
I'm excited about it.
I still think we'll probably get one, just because I bet somebody in my family buys it for some reason, but I bet I really don't touch the thing ever. So
I think it's a good, simple way to like preserve what it is. I would love to get the Famicom one from Japan, but with import, it's like closer to $100. But darn, the Famicom has always looked better. Super Famicom, regular Famicom, they just like aesthetically look better.
It's pretty.
It's so cool. And the mini one comes with 2 controllers, because one had a microphone in it, and I love it. The Famicom controller, one of them had a mic, and actually the microphone was one of the ways you killed the bunny enemy in Zelda. But they had to fix that for the American version. But in the Japanese version, you would like shout in the microphone, and it would stun the bunny, and then you could kill it.
That's weird.
Zelda Famicom history for you.
Moving on.
Bum bum bum.
Our next story. So our next story is kind of a weird one. It's kind of a convoluted one, and we really don't know what to make too much of it. But I figured we'd still talk about it this week. Battleborn, which is
a hero shooter.
One of the year's most underwhelming games, I'd say. Supposedly going free to play, even though Randy Pitchford, the game's Gearbox Software's one of their I think he's a creative director over there. He is vehemently denying that it is going free to play, and I don't really know what's going on here. Jason Schreier at Kotaku reported that the game is going to the free to play model basically because they have seen success with games like Evolve going free to play, and so they want their concurrent players going up. As it stands right now, the game has been an absolute failure for the most part for 2K and Gearbox. I think it's already down to $20 on Amazon if you're really interested in it. So it's not like it's too much money currently. But yeah, the game just kind of flopped because Overwatch, I think, killed it. It came out within the same month, even though they're kind of different games.
They're different games, but advertising wise, like public perception, they are the same kind of game. And Overwatch
aside, like I still remember seeing this game last year, and somebody on Twitter took a poll and said, "Are you like excited for?"
I was never really interested.
Everybody said no. Like I don't. The game didn't market well. The game didn't really show well when it was time to show it off. Like it just looked kind of bland and boring, even though they were trying to create some sort of like exciting, funny world similar to that of like it was giving off Borderlands vibes to me, but it just wasn't looking like they were nailing it by any means.
Just wait for Telltale's Tales from the Battleborn.
Yeah, Tales from the Battleborn. That'll be really good. Supposedly, it is going free to play, according to Jason. Some sort of free to play model. While he doesn't know specific details right now, it should be going free to play. Randy Pitchford denies it. Like I said, he said that there is a free trial version coming soon, and to that, everybody thought he meant demo, and to which he said, no, it's not a demo. We'll tell you about it later, or something like that. And that was the extent of those tweets that he had. So we really don't know what's going on here. It would make sense for them to make it go free to play, or at least to have some sort of like play it for $5. Or I think even Jason in the article mentioned that like it'd be smart for them to go like down the League of Legends path, where it's like here's like 3 to 5 characters that you get for free. If you want all of them, buy the game for $20. It's $20.
Well, yeah.
Then here's
the way League works though is like a weekly rotation. Like they rotate heroes out, and if you want that specific hero, you can buy that hero.
But you can also save up in-game currency to later buy that.
Yes. Uses in-game currency that way. And, kind of, so to get kind of more into the nitty gritty, 2K is the publisher of Battleborn. 2K also publishes Evolve. Evolve just went free to play this year and apparently saw a massive spike in users. And according to the article, Gearbox originally wanted Battleborn to have some free to play model. But 2K said no, said it wants a $60 game. So they sold it and advertised it as a $60 game. And we all saw what happened with that. Now, if this does go free to play, that really sucks for anyone that spent $60 on this.
I don't think it sucks. I mean, that was your immediate point. Like, to me, it's if you wanted to play the game and you bought the game and you had a good time with it, then why should you be upset that you paid $60 for it and supported the people who created it?
I countered that. I countered that with, if you bought No Man's Sky for $60 and then 4 months down the line, it's a free PS Plus game. Like, it's just, this game came out 6 months ago and now it's just going to be free. Evolve at least took a year to get to that decision. Whether it's just the multiplayer is free or not, it's still a burn.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, that's not on the. You shouldn't be bummed out about that as a consumer. If you bought the game and you enjoyed it, then like you have nothing to be mad about. Like, you got your money's worth. You paid money for a product, and if you enjoyed that product, then that's, I mean, good for you. That's how all video games work. You shouldn't be upset like months down the road where they see the game is failing, and as a company, that the only thing they can think to do to keep it alive is to make it free to play. So that's not, to me, you shouldn't be upset about that as a consumer. I get that the turnaround on it is a lot quicker than normal. Like you said, Evolve took about a year. This would be maybe 6 months or so. If supposedly it was supposed to get this free to play element no later than November. But again, we really don't know what's going on. It's everything's kind of muddled right now, and we don't know what the future of the game is going to be. Honestly, like, I don't think it wasn't very well critically received either. Like, it got pretty like mediocre reviews across the board, 6s and 7s and things like that. So I don't think it was as much Overwatch killing it. I mean, Overwatch killed it, but at the same time, the game itself, I haven't heard many glowing reviews from people who have played it. So I just don't think the game as a whole is that great. So I don't know.
We'll see what happens apparently, but Jason's usually pretty spot on with this stuff. So we'll see how it all pans out here in the end.
He has some solid insider sources.
A lot of people trust Jason, so he's got a lot of people.
He's probably the best in the industry as far as reporting leaks and things like that. So he's probably right, and Pitchford's probably annoyed with the game as a whole and how it performed, and he's probably just frustrated that people keep tearing it down. So Gearbox, I really don't think Gearbox is that good of a developer, like, at all.
They had not Battleborn, Borderlands. That was it, really.
And that's about it.
They screwed up Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Duke Nukem sucked. Aliens sucked. Battleborn has not performed well, and the reviews for it weren't great.
But they had Borderlands 1 and 2.
Is pretty much the only good thing that they have.
3.
Yeah. So I don't think Gearbox is very good at what they do, honestly.
I played a little bit of 1 and a little bit of 2. Sorry, I apologize. I've played a little bit of Borderlands 1 and 2, and I would do LAN parties with 2 other friends, and we would all play in like this apartment together, and that's fun. But there was something about Borderlands that didn't capture me the way Destiny did, and they're sort of fundamentally the same thing. They're a shooting and looting game. You get loot, you shoot stuff, you get loot.
Borderlands 2 is a much better game. I didn't think Borderlands 1 was fine with friends, but if you were playing that game solo, it was not good.
Not fun. Yeah.
You needed like 2 to 3 people to play with Borderlands 2, or with Borderlands 1. Borderlands 2 was a lot better. It fixed a lot of mistakes, and it was a more solid, and it was more mechanically sound, I think, as far as just the shooting and things go. They refined a lot of the game's elements and also added a bunch of cool new things. I like Borderlands 2 a lot. But again, just if you don't have people to play with, those games aren't that good. Gearbox, I think Gearbox is they're one of the more big name developers that when I see them on stage at E3 or wherever, PSX, something like that, I don't get excited in the slightest. I just don't think. I think they're very overrated. So yeah. Speaking of Destiny, though, because you did just mention Destiny.
Segue.
We got some new Destiny 2 news this week. I didn't even bother to read it because I don't care. The only thing I know is that it may be coming to PC. Max, share with everybody what the rumors are.
The biggest rumor is what you just said, that Destiny 2 would be coming to PC.
Which
Rumor
should be obvious. Like,
obvious, absolutely. Destiny on PC makes perfect sense. Destiny 2 at least.
I totally forget that it isn't on PC very often, and
Mhm.
I'll mention that, and people will get mad at me. Like,
It's
it just should be. Like, it
it
makes
really
sense to
it,
be.
it really really should be. I'm curious. Some of the nitpicky things I think about is on a PC, you should be able, obviously, to get better than 30 frames. Destiny is a wonderfully fluid 30 frames a second shooter. It's locked. Um, Only dips in Rise of Iron a little bit, actually, surprisingly. But outside of the game, it's never had frame rate issues. So I'm curious how they'll handle that optimization on PC, or if Destiny 2 is a 60 frame a second game, which I don't think Bungie's ever made a 60 frame shooter. Halo.
I don't think so. They shouldn't. I think it's good to be locked at 30 where they have it. Like, it's not.
Well, if you can lock a shooter at 60, it's better. It's like
Yeah. I
there's
mean, I
no
get that it
question
is
about it.
smoother. Yeah, but I don't know.
If it's fluctuating, if it's not a lock 60, then it can cause problems. But anyway, that aside, should be coming to PC. This is apparently a complete overhaul of the game and its systems. They're aiming for
Good.
like big social spaces. So if you're
Good.
familiar with Destiny, you've got these patrol areas. Like, this game sounds like it's going to have towns and places on planets where you can go and interact with other people.
Sounds like
Kind of
Borderlands.
kind of removing walls, like the barriers between um in Destiny, the tower is on Earth, but when you're on Earth, you can't get to the tower except by
Yeah,
leaving, going to orbit, and
yeah,
going back down to the
that's
tower.
that was okay. With the time I did spend with Destiny, that was like one of the big turnoffs to me, was that anytime you did want to go somewhere else, you had to basically just orbit out, orbit back in, and go somewhere else. And to me, it always
Yeah,
when I had bad internet and I was playing it, my game would always be where it booted me out of the servers and things like that. So, and that was a problem with my Wi-Fi, not with the game. But yeah, just it was very clunky, and it took you out of that experience when you're constantly having to drop in, drop out, drop in, drop out of different areas. So I think it would be better if they could try to make it like one giant world where everything's connected, and then you can fast travel to certain areas if you want to. But I get that the game takes place on like different planets and things like that too. So
yeah. So one big thing that a lot of people were talking about from this article was the rumor that Destiny 2 would not let you carry over your characters, which is very controversial because Bungie has said upfront from this game that Destiny has had a 10-year plan, and part of that is being able to take your Guardian with you as you move on from game to game. For a little bit of clarity, the article never says outright that this was a rumor that Jason heard. He says, assuming Destiny 2 won't let players carry over their old characters, Bungie will likely offer something to players who have poured hundreds of hours into the first game, end quote. He also says that Bungie has not finalized these decisions yet.
I'll see. This is the problem with making a sequel to an MMO, is that you are caught in that weird middle ground of how do we allow players to carry over previous characters? Do we allow them to do it? Should we just have them start over? Because if it is going to be like a fundamentally different game from the ground up in a lot of ways, then it would make sense to just say start over. Plus, my point to that too, you being somebody who's played so many hours this game, isn't it kind of alluring to you maybe in a little bit to kind of start over? Like, wouldn't you maybe like a clean slate in some ways? Because it is
It's a
very
delicate balance. It's a very delicate balance. I've poured 270 hours into Destiny. I looked this up the other day. 270 hours I've poured into one character. I have two other characters that I started to help me get to the platinum. I really haven't spent a lot of time with either of them. Nothing. Like, I've poured all these hours into one character. That character is mine. I make him look the way I want him to look. But narratively, he doesn't do anything for me. He is just an avatar for me to get in this world and shoot things. I'm more tied to the gear I have. But really, the thing that stands out to me is the memories I've made with the game and with my other friends playing the game. Not so much my character, it's more the time I've spent with my friends. So I know those memories aren't going anywhere, even if I can't bring my hunter with me. So I personally don't think I would mind terribly. It's not like I bring up a lot with Telltale's The Walking Dead. Like I really want my decisions to carry over, even if they have no impact in the story or whatever. I want like down to the finest little decision, the Clementine to be my Clementine. And that's because it's a narrative game and those decisions have made that character who I want her to be. In Destiny, my hunter isn't anything like that. It's just the gear I put on him, the way I have it rolled, so my stats are right. Like all of that stuff is the way I want it. Um and so I think I would be fine in the end if I couldn't take my characters with me. Um I personally do. Yes. I think I'd be okay. Um I'm really, really curious.
Yeah, I just feel like there needs to come a point where you, even if you are against it, like it is smart to like restart, and it gives you a clean slate. It kind of evens the playing field for everybody at the same time as well.
Especially if they're introducing a whole new community of PC players.
That's what I'm saying. So if they want PC players, and even if they want new players, like if they were to try to get someone like myself in who and say, hey, you should join this community, you should be a part of this, then the best thing, for the most alluring thing to me, is to start over. Like if everybody's going to be starting from square one, then it would be nice to know that myself jumping into this MMO for the first time, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, I did play it for a couple hours once, but jumping in and knowing that I am on an even playing field in this new game, even with the players who have played thousands of hours previously, if I was to jump into the game and know that, hey, me and Max are on the same level. He's played this game he played the first one way longer than me, but as far as this one goes, I can jump in and I feel comfortable because I know we are equals, at least for that beginning time when we first start playing the game. And then obviously everybody will start leveling up and things like that. But if everybody's character was to transfer over and they were all like super high level, then I was like, I'll jump into Destiny, and everybody I see around me is like, I don't know how levels work in that game. If everybody's like way higher than me, though, that it's going to be like a huge turn off. And I will immediately like not want to play because of that.
One of the things they did do with Taken King and Rise of Iron is they give new players a thing called a Spark of Light, and it automatically brings you up to the minimum level needed for that content.
I think that's so unsatisfying though. Like I really do. Like part of the excitement of those games is that you start from level 1 or whatever with your character, and then you do build them to the point where they are that high level, and you're like, I've been through a lot with this character. I started from the lowest I could get,
which is the hard part about leaving that character.
Yes, true.
But I mean, if Destiny 2 is this complete overhaul that a lot of people are expecting, I think it makes sense on a paper to fresh slate for everyone. But there's a part of me that's upset about it, and then another part of me is like, I think I can handle this. Very, very curious about all like what Destiny 2 will be story-wise, world-wise, what happens to Destiny 1 when Destiny 2 comes out. Do we get to do the content we did in Destiny 1 in Destiny 2? Like, is the Vault of Glass going to be there? Does Destiny 1 completely die? Does it wither out and just poof, disappear, and Destiny 2 is now Destiny? It's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of speculation. We could see a trailer for this game as soon as the Game Awards or PSX.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a lot of unanswered questions we have right now, but I assume that we'll see the first of it probably at the Game Awards, if I had to honestly guess.
That's as soon as we would see any of it. The game, rumor has it, is a late 2017, which sounds like September, October time. The original Destiny launched in September, and so have both major expansions. So I see this game as a September release for next year, for PS4, Xbox One, and potentially PC. So we'll see how it all pans out. But Destiny 2 is coming, and with I know Rise of Iron just came out, but this is like filler content just to kind of keep the community engaged and active. There will be smaller events. We've got Festival Light here at some point in October. I'm sure there will be a Valentine's Day event again in February like they did last year. Sparrow Racing will come back. So there's going to be very small things to try and keep the community engaged as they gear up and ramp toward Destiny 2. And now it's just a waiting game to see what Bungie has to say.
Yep, that's about all we can say about that right now. All of it's conjecture. I'm sure we will hear something more within probably the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months about the game, though, especially if it is coming out next year. So we'll hear more soon. And then, of course, Max will talk about it on this show when we do eventually hear more. So be sure to tune into subsequent episodes. We're going to take a break now because that is all of our notable news. We will be back in a couple minutes with our topics, and we've got some good ones today, I think. Maybe. Come back in a second for yourself and decide if they are good or not.
Okay. It's 12:40.
Mm-hmm.
My thing starts at 2, but I wanted to get there a little early to like see the setup.
Yeah, we can blast through these pretty quickly.
You want to blast through both of them, or you just want to do yours?
I think we can get through both of them pretty quickly. We can start with mine or whatever and then see from there.
Okay. Well, when do you... Okay.
I think we'll be... How far of a drive is it for you?
It's 15 minutes.
You'll be fine. We usually don't go much past 20 to 30 minutes with these. At the latest, we would end by maybe 1:10 or so.
Okay. All right. That's my only concern is I just need to get to school to cover this thing because I really want to get this portfolio done.
As long as Chris Christie's not blocking any bridges off or whatever on the way to your school, you should be fine.
There's no bridges.
There might be. They built one.
That would be quite the turnaround as far as construction goes. But all right, so let's blast. Let's blast through it because we'll do yours, which you briefly mentioned earlier. And then we'll do mine, I guess. So I gotta let Abby out. I gotta let Abby out to the bathroom.
Let me jot a couple things down.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking at my game wall and trying to figure out something real quick. Actually, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. We're not technically recording, really. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Looks like the PSVR bundle comes with the new camera, which isn't really a surprise. They are out in the wild, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like my VR unit is in a warehouse in Amazon facility somewhere, so that's kind of cool. 12 more days? No, 11. 11 more days. At time of recording, when this goes live, it'll be 10 or 9. I can't do math. Not good at it. Gotta get going. I gotta go write a story about mental health awareness.
What are you talking about? What are you saying?
Just talked about some PSVR thing that popped up in my feed, and then I talked about how I have to go write about mental health awareness.
Mental health awareness sounds not that fun.
Not fun at all.
Okie dokie. I'm ready to whenever you are.
Born ready. So count us in, Chief.
I think my sniffles have kind of gone away, but not really. Okay, we will begin here again in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. So, topics this week. As I mentioned earlier in the show, if you were listening, my topic kind of has to deal with hype. Because Max is always talking. Max is hyped about everything in the industry. He's saying...
Not everything. I'm hyped about the things I care about.
You're hyped about everything. You're hyped about everything going. Everything that happens, you're hyped about.
I could care less about The Last Guardian. Final Fantasy 15.
Well, I'm not...
Gears of War. Either. Mafia 3.
Those are all games you haven't played, though. So, that makes sense.
Call of Duty. Battlefield.
Anyway.
Titanfall.
Max is excited about stuff all the time.
VR, though.
Max is excited all the time.
I am excited. I'm a very, very passionate, energetic fellow.
I'm kind of not. I've been disenfranchised with a lot of things over the past few years.
You're a Debbie Downer.
I'm not Debbie Downer. I'm just Debbie normal person who doesn't let their expectations get the best of them. And I think that's where I've been at the past few years is I don't get excited about things because it can lead to disappointment sometimes, which is a big thing. So that's why I try to be pretty even keel with everything for the most part. But two,
No Man's Sky.
I wasn't very hyped for that. I bought it on day one, but I wasn't very excited.
You and me, we had the hype the day before when we recorded.
Yeah, about the day before.
Promise.
I think we started getting excited.
You and me both.
But we were also starved for a game because it had been like 3 months, I think, before
the drought was real.
Anything. So I think that was the main reason why we were excited. It was kind of kicking off fall. Anyway, I don't get excited that often at Mad Games. I'm pretty even keel about everything. There's a couple game announcements here and there that get me really happy and excited.
The last thing I remember you being so excited about was Mass Effect Andromeda.
That was one. I see. I wasn't
the footage of the pro event.
That was cool. The last thing.
No, you should have seen you in the chat, dude. You were freaking out.
We'll get in it. We'll get into that here in a second. But I'm pretty low key with things for the most part because, like I said, don't like to get too carried away. And plus, I feel like I've seen everything at this point. Like, there's nothing like drastically new that really blows me away. Like even with like VR, like I know you're excited for it. I'm excited for it to be in my house, but I'm not like. I don't know. I'm fine. I'm fine with how things are right now. So I don't like need these things, but I am looking forward to them. But I'm not at the same time like Max like freaks out about the things he really likes. And there's a few things here and there that I get excited for, but for the most part, not as much. So my topic this week,
very fair,
is what game announcements or what things in the game industry would get you the most excited? Because I've got a list here of a couple things that would even an old bitter person like myself would just get real happy about and real excited for. And because it really doesn't happen too much anymore. The last game that I was really like freaking out about was Fallout 4. And maybe I think that was primarily because we hadn't seen a Fallout game in so long.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily excited to get into the world or anything like that because I knew it would be so similar and so much of the same, but it was just that we hadn't seen that franchise in so long. So to me, most of the things I have here on my list are mainly franchises that I don't think we've seen in a really long time. I think that's what it takes for me to get excited because when we know things are going as they are planned, there's no really excitement behind that to me. That's why I can't get excited about the NX is because like we've known about it so long at this point. It's just like, okay, can I just see it now? Like, please just show it. So we can start with you though. I've got a couple things here that would get me really excited, but what about yourself?
Immediately comes to mind Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Whether that's Joel and Ellie part 2, whether that's a spin-off in the same world, whether that's a Joel story, whether that's just an Ellie story, anything Last of Us, I would lose it.
See, but so I thought of that one for myself and realized that wouldn't get me that excited because again, as the Joker would say, it's all according to plan. Like we all expect Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
So when it's actually shown, it'll be cool and I'll be happy to see it.
I will be,
but it won't it won't like blow my pants off or anything because I expect that'll happen.
It'll look so good though.
So
it'll be so good though.
Maybe
the pedigree of Naughty Dog is unchallenged. It'll be so good. Do you want me just to keep going, or do you
keep going? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Something that would absolutely blow my mind. I've talked about it on the show before. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, whether that's on a portable like the 3DS or the NX, or whether it's an HD remake on the Wii U or the NX.
That was one of mine. I had Paper Mario Thousand Year Door / Paper Mario proper Paper Mario 3.
Or
that would get me very
even honestly, just a GameCube Virtual Console with Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door on it. Some way to play this game again, preferably in a portable fashion. That would a new Metroid game. Because where's Metroid?
That would do nothing for me, honestly.
I would be so ecstatic for a new Metroid game. But we haven't seen a new Metroid game since Other M, which I believe was 2011. So it's been about 5 years, I think, since a proper Metroid game. No, Federation Force has the Metroid logo stamped on it, but it does not have Samus like proper. It is not a Metroid game. It is a
That's why the games are called Metroid and not Samus. So
why can't Metroid crawl? those in particular, I'm thinking off the top of my head here.
So I can
that's kind of like initial stuff.
I can throw a few. So I can start throwing a few out. The last thing that got me really excited, the one that I mentioned, Fallout 4. The last actual trailer that I like seriously lost my mind about, so this will get you an idea on like where I'm at. Like I'm looking for things that I have not seen in a long time that I want back, and I think that's what it takes for me to get excited. So the last thing that I like really got super crazy excited for was seeing Spider-Man at the PS4 show. That was the one thing that really made me freak out recently.
But why? We've been getting Spider-Man games. Spider-Man games didn't just disappear.
Good open world games by good developers have kind of disappeared. The Spider-Man games got a little too linear. We had Shattered Dimensions, and we had the one with 2099 in it. I forget what that was called. Had something to do with you bounce between modern Spider-Man and
Dimension
Spider-Man.
Splitter or something. I don't know.
No, it was. I forget what it was.
Time Splitters.
No, wasn't that
Spider-Man traveling through time?
We stopped getting proper good open world Spider-Man games, and the last really good one was probably on the PS2.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. I liked Ultimate Spider-Man as well, though. I know that one wasn't as well received, but I really liked it. So we haven't gotten many good open world Spidey games since the PS2 era. So I'm seeing that got me really excited. Also, I like Spider-Man, so it has been a while since we've seen a Spider-Man game that is good. I know there was the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 for the movie, but those were not good games. Those were typical shovelware license games that kind of came out. So that's kind of my barometer as I'm looking for things that I haven't seen in a long time. At the top of my list, though, of things that like I would freak out about if they got announced, and like I would be singing its praises and you would never hear me shut up about, Knights of the Old Republic 3. If that got announced, I would lose my flipping mind.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. Absolutely.
So it has to be
KOTOR 3.
And that's what I started thinking about. It's old games that are just like defunct and old franchises that we haven't seen a lot of in a long time.
Did just pop in my mind.
Go ahead.
A functioning proper Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I know we just got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, but that game was broken and wasn't done. And that was Activision pushing it out and not giving the developer the time they needed to actually make a good Tony Hawk game.
Well, here's my thing. Here would be my rebuttal. I don't think it would get you excited simply because of the pedigree of the games recently. If they showed off a new trailer,
but like I want a good 3D skateboarding game. I miss those.
See, but by the time
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, 2, and 3, Underground 1 and 2.
So I'm talking with
Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, which used the Tony Hawk engine but with Disney characters.
With this topic, I think I'm mainly referring to like if a game got announced, something you would freak out about. And I think if Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 6 got announced tomorrow, it would do nothing for you. Honestly, I don't think you would be excited about it until the reviews came out, and then if they were very high scores, then you would get excited. But until that time, I don't think that would move the meter for you whatsoever. Okay. Let me see some other things here. One thing I had that is not a game, but something that I would freaking lose my mind with is a trophy or achievement system with Nintendo consoles.
Okay.
I would lose it. I would be all in on that. I wanted that forever.
That's a little hype them up.
That is the only thing that they could announce during the NX reveal that would make me.
What would they call them? We've got trophies, we've got achievements. What would they call?
Probably something
badges,
like stickers, or stamps, or badges. Something like that.
Well, they have stamps already. They have stickers and they have stamps.
Well, I don't know. Then maybe
badges.
Pins.
Pointless metal objects that indicate achieving a task.
It'd be cool if they came out with those for the new games, but also then for all the old virtual console games. That would be awesome. That would make me very, very happy.
I would love that.
You mentioned those are like the big ones. Is KOTOR 3 is like the one big one that I've like wanted, and I just don't think is ever going to happen. The trophies or achievement system on Nintendo would be cool, and I'm really hoping they just realize how popular and like important those things are in their opponents' consoles and just maybe jump on board and do it. I've got a couple others here, but I don't know how excited they would get me. The big one here, the obvious one would be Half-Life 3. If I saw that, I don't know if I would be excited as much as like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
I would
be
more excited for Portal 3.
I would be way more excited for Half-Life 3 than Portal 3, mainly because of the pedigree behind it at this point of that game's never happening.
That game won't happen. Neither will Portal 3 or Left 4 Dead 3 or any Valve game with 3 in it.
Yeah, that's true. Dota 3 would probably be the first one we ever get with that.
Yeah, but they don't even need to make it because Dota 2 will last forever.
Yeah, same with League of Legends. Half-Life 3, though, I don't know if I would be personally very excited, like freaking out for myself. That's not like a personal game that I would die to get my hands on. Don't get me wrong. I'd be very, very excited for like myself, but I would more be freaking out just because it's a real tangible thing that we can look at and know exists now. Other than that, so I've got a couple others on my list. I don't think they would get me as excited, essentially because I expect them. So like, for instance here, like Bloodborne 2, like Bloodborne 2 is going to happen. I'll be very excited when it's announced, but I don't think I'm going to be doing backflips all over the place. Like, I don't know. It'll get announced. I'm expecting it.
Bloodborne 2, VR exclusive.
Oh gosh, kill me if that happens. So that would be a good one. The other one, so you mentioned earlier Bioshock.
I did make a joke about Bioshock 4. Ken Levine returns. Don't worry, it'll take 10 years to make the game.
So
where's our Bioshock Vita?
Gone forever. I don't know how I'd feel about Bioshock. I really don't.
I can tell you how you'd feel. I got it right here. I feel
very conflicted about it because I would be so scared because Levine isn't making it.
You would say, is Ken Levine doing it? They would say no. You'd be like, I'll see it when it comes out.
I know he's not doing it. So that's the thing, is that that's going to be a franchise for 2K moving forward. And I'm so scared about what it's going to do and become. I think the gameplay will probably continue to be good, but there's something about Levine's writing in Infinite and Bioshock 1 that is so important and special to those games. Like I said, I started playing Bioshock 2 recently. The combat is good. It's fine. The writing in the story is not good, like, at all. Like, I forgot about the whole story. Like, little girls are disappearing on the surface and being kidnapped and taken to Rapture. That's kind of dumb. Like, that's a really kind of a stupid thing. Like, I liked how the plot was confined to Rapture last time, and you thought you were the outsider coming in, and it turns out, obviously, you aren't the outsider. You've been from Rapture in the first place.
I honestly don't recall the story of Bioshock 1.
That's why you need to replay it. That's why.
I remember the twist, obviously, but I have no idea
what twist. Would you kindly?
Yeah, the twist that makes me so mad about everything.
Why does it make you mad?
I've told this story on the show.
Just because somebody told you about it?
10 minutes before I got there.
Well, it's your fault. Shouldn't have talked to people 10 minutes before you got there.
But I didn't know it was coming.
That's why you keep playing the game. I don't know what I would do with Bioshock. Even things like Breath of the Wild, like, I'm excited for it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like losing my mind over it necessarily. I don't know. Like, I don't think I get excited about games anymore because
something burns you.
Nothing has burned me. It's just like, I've been looking forward to. There's always a new game coming out, and there's always something I'm playing. So it's less about, when I was a kid, I used to get way more excited about games because I would get a couple games a year. And so I would look forward to one or two specifically a lot. Now, it seems like I buy some sort of game every week, whether it be Pac-Man on PSN this week. I bought that. I've been playing that. Like, there's always something I'm playing that is occupying my time and my mind and keeping me thinking about that game rather than games that are at like 6 months to a year out. So I never really spend much time getting excited about one specific game or franchise or anything because there's always something else I'm doing now. So I don't know. And I'm a critic about everything. I'm skeptic about everything.
Cynic.
I'm cynical, especially about things that deserve to be like, I should be a cynic about, such as Nintendo. That's why I'm not excited about the NX, because Nintendo has screwed us over for a while, like the last half of the Wii, and then
you feel burned.
Yeah, I do, because I've bought all of their systems. The last half of the Wii's life cycle sucked. The Wii U sucked. The 3DS has been fine.
Wii U has a fantastic library.
It's fine. The system as a whole is not good though. Like that tablet controller sucks. I don't like that thing at all. I really don't.
It still has fantastic games.
Like less than 10 that I think are good.
No,
and again, those are so few and far between.
Games, like must play games that if you went out, if someone didn't own a Wii U went out and bought one right now, they would have amazing games to play.
I would have some good ones. Like
amazing. Like these games are fantastic.
Like what though? Like that's the thing.
3D World, Splatoon,
I wouldn't put
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Splatoon is a great game. It is.
Did you buy it?
No.
Oh,
it is though. Like I don't buy it because I don't play shooters, like competitive shooters, but it is a fantastic game. It has a thriving community. Nintendo has supported it.
Yeah.
People love it in Japan. It is a success. It is a great game. Super Mario Maker. All these games are great.
They have fine games. They have a couple of good ones.
Mario
Maker, Smash
has more and better exclusives than the PS4 does.
I wouldn't say that.
Exclusive, yes.
No.
More and better exclusives.
Bloodborne.
Uncharted 4. Okay.
All of the Uncharted remastered games, if you want to include those, plus The Last
of Us.
Those
aren't exclusives to PS4. They're not exclusive to PS4.
They kind of still are. They can't get them on Wii U. So,
I'm telling you.
I know you'll laugh at this one. MLB The Show.
Like, yeah, no, it's good. It's a fantastic game. The only baseball sport game out there that's decent.
What was the other one that I was thinking of? Infamous is solid, no matter what
Infamous
you say.
Sounds a good game.
You're all over the Order, and I think that sucks, but that's like one for yourself that I know you'll put up there.
I had fun with it. Resogun. I'll give you Resogun.
Resogun. I think they're just as good as the Wii U's library. I don't think there's better first party by Nintendo probably, but the only good things on the system are first party. Name a third party game you'd play on the Wii U. You wouldn't.
I don't think I have a third party game.
That's the point. So that's why the Wii U sucks, is because it's totally dependent on first party games, which is fine because that's why most people
buy they're Nintendo amazing games. You can't deny that if someone went out and bought a Wii right now, they have a fantastic library to play.
They'd have an okay library. Like I own like 5 games.
That's it. Those 5 games are great.
Yeah, but I own like 15 to 20 for my other consoles.
And not all of them are great. There's garbage on our systems. I'm just telling you. The Wii U is a great system. It took a long time for it to get here, but it's a great system.
I don't know.
You shouldn't be mad about your Wii U.
It'll go down as one of my least favorite systems ever. Honestly,
it's a commercial failure, but it's great.
It's a failure to me too as well. So, and I own one, so I can say this. It's not like I haven't bought one and played it. Like it's got a lot of problems, and I think it's like a current gen console that feels like a last gen console. Like it feels like it's equivalent to the PS3 and the 360 rather than the Xbox One and the PS4.
Oh, in terms of power, it absolutely is.
Not even in terms of power, just terms in everything. Like internet space as well. Like Nintendo, I still feel like Nintendo is behind with their network and things like that. Like,
oh, they are.
So
that doesn't affect the quality of the games, though.
If you say so.
No one would play Smash Brothers online, even if they had dedicated servers. No one plays.
I don't know about that.
No one plays fighting games online, like competitively.
Anyway, that's why I'm a cynic, because Nintendo has not been great to me for the past 5 to 8 years.
See, I told you, you felt burned. Deep-seated issues.
It's not like it's a fact though. They haven't been good the past few years, and if they fail with the NX, then they're probably done as a console producer. So it's not just me; it's everybody, and like Nintendo is feeling the hurt from it as well. So, but yeah, I mean, they haven't been good, so I would be a cynic about that. And I'm not going to get excited about a company who hasn't done much for me within the past however many years. So, anyway, do you want to do your topic now or what?
Timing wise, frankly, no. Just because I gotta take care of some stuff before I go write this story. So I can save mine. Mine is timeless in
That's
that
fine. We can do it next week. So cool.
So I would much, I'd rather save it.
I guess that's it for episode 61 then.
That'd do it.
Now it's time for the rundown. Let me take a big breath so I can do this all at once. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow the show. The show is at MGS Podcast. You can follow me, Logan. Hi, how you doing? You can follow me at Moreman12. You can follow Max over there at Max the White. You can send us any emails with any questions, comments, or concerns you may have to mgspodcast@gmail.com. We will read those on the show. You can send us topics, and we'll talk about the topics that you want us to talk about too on the show. So that'd be all great and fun. If you listen to the show on iTunes, it would be great if you could leave us a review. We are on iTunes. Subscribe to us. That helps us out a whole bunch. Give us a 5-star review as well. That also helps us out. That gets us in more people's ears. More people's ears means it's better for us. And we are also on YouTube and Facebook. You can find us at Millennial Game Speak. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi, how are you doing? How's it going? Share the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. That helps us out as well. I think that's everything.
That should do it.
That should do it for this week. We will be back next week with episode 62. We've got one more episode left before VR. So next week's episode will be the last one. And then VR will be out that week. Once the MP3 goes up that Wednesday, it'll be out the next following day on a Thursday. It's so weird that it releases on a Thursday.
Thursday is a very weird day for any system to launch.
I don't understand that at all, honestly. Like, I don't. Friday was when the PS4 released, and that made sense at least. Like, I don't understand the Thursday at all.
You could see people taking the Friday off and then having the whole weekend with their new system.
Is it a worldwide launch or something like that? Does that mean it's like Friday in
other places?
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know. It's very strange that they're doing that. Odd day to do it. Makes a lot more sense to do it that Friday, but whatever. Anyway. Thank you so much for listening this week. We appreciate it, as always. For Max and myself, I'm a cynic. Goodbye. Have a good week. We love you.
Farewell.
See you later.
Have a good time.